Welcome to the Trend Reddit channel. This is a place where we share interesting, humorous, and emotional stories about family life. Each episode will be a journey exploring familiar situations that anyone can encounter in their own family. Let's laugh, reflect, and sometimes shed tears together with these meaningful stories. The contrast between his lavish life and the suffering of that man raises a question: would he dare to sacrifice a little of his precious time to change their fate? What action will come from a millionaire in that decisive moment? If you love relatable and touching stories, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss any videos. Be sure to click the notification bell to get the latest updates on our new episodes. Thank you for your support and for joining us on this channel. In the heart of Boston, where glass and steel towers gleamed against a backdrop of blue sky, Liam Carter navigated through the bustling crowd at an elite architecture event. The air was filled with laughter, clinking glasses, and the murmur of admiration for the latest designs and innovations. Yet, amidst this opulence, Liam felt a profound sense of disconnection. The extravagant surroundings stood in stark contrast to his recent personal struggles, the loss of his mother and the weight of caring for his ailing father, Edward. Liam had always been the golden child, celebrated for his talent as a young architect. His designs earned accolades and praise, yet the very essence of who he was felt overshadowed by the responsibilities that lay heavy on his shoulders. Raised by a father who had sacrificed so much, he had been instilled with values of compassion and resilience. Edward, a resilient man in his own right, had faced life's challenges head-on, raising Liam alone after losing his wife. It was Edward's teachings that guided Liam through the chaos of grief, but the pressures of his social circle often felt suffocating, forcing him to wear a mask of success. As the event progressed, Liam found himself drifting from conversation to conversation, exchanging pleasantries with fellow architects and potential clients. His thoughts, however, were elsewhere, on his father's declining health and the haunting memories of his mother's illness. The laughter around him rang hollow, and the admiration for his work felt undeserved. He longed for a connection that went beyond professional accolades, a connection rooted in genuine compassion. The evening wore on, and just as Liam decided to excuse himself, a sudden downpour struck the city, sending guests scurrying for cover. Unbeknownst to him, this storm would alter the course of his life in ways he could never have imagined. As he stepped outside, the raindrops pelted down, soaking the pavement and the souls of those caught in the downpour. It was then that he spotted her, a homeless woman huddled against a storefront, cradling a newborn baby in her arms. Isabel, with dirt-smudged cheeks and weary eyes, stood defiant against the elements, her small form a testament to the struggles she faced daily. As the rain fell, her expression conveyed a blend of despair and determination, evoking a powerful empathy within Liam. His heart ached at the sight of her, the stark reality of her situation contrasting sharply with the artificial glamour of the event he had just left. Without hesitation, Liam approached her, his voice steady despite the storm. "Do you need shelter?" he asked, feeling a surge of compassion that transcended his own fears. Isabel looked up, surprise flickering across her face, as she assessed this stranger offering help. Though skeptical, she sensed a genuine kindness in Liam's eyes that beckoned her to accept. I don't want to be a burden," she murmured, her voice barely rising above the sound of the rain. "Please, let me help you," Liam insisted, his conviction unwavering. He knew that turning away would haunt him more than any risk he might take. In that moment, he broke free from the rigid confines of his schedule and commitments, propelled by an instinct to do good. They hurried to Liam's late mother's vacant house, a place filled with echoes of laughter and memories that had long since faded. Inside, the warmth contrasted sharply with the cold rain outside, enveloping them like a comforting embrace. As Liam left his driver to ensure Isabel's comfort, he felt a sense of fulfillment in helping her. Back at home, Edward, who had been observing his son's actions closely, listened intently as Liam shared his decision to help Isabel. A glimmer of pride filled Edward's eyes, and he nodded in approval. "You're doing the right thing, Liam," he said, his voice filled with warmth. "Compassion is the greatest gift we can give." The next morning, however, Liam received a call that would turn his world upside down. Edward, yearning for independence, had decided to venture out to the same house, unaware that Isabel and her baby were also there. When Liam arrived, panic seized him. He discovered that Edward had suffered a stroke. Rushing to the hospital, his heart raced with fear and worry. It was in that chaotic moment of uncertainty that he learned Isabel had saved Edward's life by calling for help just in time. This act of bravery marked a significant turning point, intertwining their fates in ways that Liam could never have anticipated. Gratefulness blossomed in Liam's heart, and he found himself drawn to Isabel's resilience as she recounted her struggles on the streets, sharing stories of survival that resonated deeply with him. Days turned into weeks, and the bond between Liam and Isabel deepened. As she cared for Edward during his recovery, she became a vital part of their small family. Isabel's presence filled the void left by Liam's mother, reminding him of the strength that can emerge from adversity. In turn, Isabel found a sense of belonging, the warmth of a family she had long yearned for. However, their newfound connection faced its biggest test when an invitation arrived from Margaret, a renowned architect and a longtime admirer of Liam's work. She extended a dinner invitation to both Liam and Isabel at her elegant home, an opportunity for Isabel to experience the world of architecture that had once seemed so far from her reach. As the night of the dinner approached, Liam's excitement mingled with apprehension. He wanted Isabel to feel accepted in a world that often judged her based on her circumstances. When they arrived, Margaret greeted them with open arms, and the evening began with laughter and shared stories. But as the night unfolded, Margaret's demeanor shifted, and she shared a heartbreaking tale of her past, a secret she had carried for too long. During dinner, she presented Isabel with a faded photograph of herself during her own pregnancy. "This is you, Isabel," Margaret revealed, her voice trembling with emotion. "You are my daughter." The revelation struck Isabel like a lightning bolt, her world tilting on its axis. Shock and confusion washed over her as she grappled with the newfound identity and the implications of a past hidden from her. In that moment, everything changed. The family dynamics shifted dramatically, weaving a complex tapestry of love, loss, and the possibility of redemption. As the evening progressed, Isabel found herself enveloped in a whirlwind of emotions, anger at her father for keeping the truth from her, grief for the years lost, and hope for a future she never dared to dream. It was a transformative moment that would alter the course of their lives forever, binding them together in a way that transcended mere blood relations. Thus began a new chapter for Isabel, Liam, and Edward, one filled with the potential for healing and connection. The journey ahead promised to be fraught with challenges, but together they would navigate the complexities of family, love, and the unwavering strength of the human spirit. As Isabel gradually settled into her new life, she found herself wrestling with emotions she had long suppressed. The revelations of that fateful dinner with Margaret opened up a well of memories and questions. Though her initial shock had started to subside, the uncertainty of her place in this newfound family haunted her. Each day was a blend of hope and anxiety as she adjusted to living in Liam's late mother's house, surrounded by echoes of a life she had never known. Liam, meanwhile, immersed himself in his architectural projects, channeling his emotions into his work. The bustling atmosphere of his office offered a distraction, yet the thought of Isabel lingered in the back of his mind. He admired her resilience, her capacity to adapt to new challenges. During their quiet evenings together, he found himself sharing stories of his childhood, his father's sacrifices, and the values that shaped him. In turn, Isabel revealed bits and pieces of her past, recounting her struggles to survive on the streets, the heartbreaking choices she had faced, and her fierce determination to protect her baby, Ava. One afternoon, Liam returned home to find Isabel deep in thought, cradling Ava in her arms. The baby cooed softly, blissfully unaware of the turmoil surrounding her. Isabel looked up, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "I never imagined I could feel safe again," she confessed, her voice trembling. "But with you and Edward, I feel a sense of belonging I've never had before." Moved by her vulnerability, Liam reached out and placed a hand on her shoulder, offering silent support. "You're part of our family now, Isabel," he assured her. "We're here for you, no matter what." As the weeks passed, the bond between them deepened, intertwined with shared experiences and emerging affection. Isabel's laughter filled the house, a sound Liam had longed to hear. She took on the role of caregiver for Edward, who had been released from the hospital but required ongoing support during his recovery. The two formed a unique connection, sharing stories and laughter over cups of tea. Edward's face lit up whenever Isabel entered the room, her presence a balm for his loneliness. One evening, while they were watching a documentary about architectural designs, Isabel turned to Liam with a determined look in her eyes. "I want to learn more about architecture. It's always fascinated me, and now I see how much it can change lives." Liam smiled, heartened by her enthusiasm. "Why don't we start with some books? I can teach you the basics," he suggested. From that moment, Isabel dove headfirst into her studies, transforming their living room into a makeshift classroom. With Liam as her mentor, she absorbed every bit of knowledge he shared, her passion igniting a fire within her. They spent countless evenings poring over sketches and architectural theories, their discussions ranging from design principles to the societal impact of architecture. As her understanding grew, so did her confidence. Isabel began to envision a future where she could contribute to the field she had always admired, a chance to create spaces that offered comfort and safety to others like herself. Liam noticed the spark in her eyes, the way her hands moved animatedly as she spoke about her dreams. It fueled his own aspirations, reminding him of why he had chosen this path in the first place. Yet, amidst the blossoming of their relationship, an undercurrent of tension persisted. Isabel's past loomed large, and the shadows of her experiences occasionally crept back, causing her to withdraw into herself. During moments of quiet, she would stare out the window, lost in thought, her brow furrowed with unspoken worries. Liam sensed her struggle but knew better than to push. Instead, he offered her the space she needed, always ready to support her when she was ready to talk. One day, while they were working together, Isabel paused and turned to Liam. "What if my past catches up with me? What if someone recognizes me on the streets?" The vulnerability in her voice pierced through Liam's heart. "Your past doesn't define you, Isabel," he replied gently. "You're not alone anymore. We're building a future together, one step at a time." His words brought her a measure of comfort, but doubts lingered. She was haunted by memories of nights spent shivering in alleyways, of the struggles that had shaped her into the woman she was now. The fear of losing this newfound life gnawed at her, an ever-present reminder of how fragile happiness could be. As the seasons changed, Isabel and Liam continued to grow closer, forging a connection that transcended their individual struggles. They found solace in shared moments, morning coffee, late-night discussions, and the simple joy of being together. Their relationship blossomed, marked by tender glances and unspoken promises. Edward, too, began to thrive in this nurturing environment. With Isabel's help, he regained his strength and vitality. The bond they formed became a source of joy for him, as he felt the weight of loneliness lifting. Together, they created a rhythm, a new normal that felt like a family once again. But just when it seemed like life was finally settling into a harmonious routine, the past intruded in an unexpected way. One chilly afternoon, while running errands, Liam stumbled upon a familiar face in the bustling marketplace, a man who had once been part of Isabel's life. The encounter sent shivers down his spine. "Isabel," the man called out, his voice cutting through the noise of the crowd. Liam's heart raced as he turned to see Isabel, who stood frozen in place, her face draining of color. The man approached, and for a moment, time stood still. "If you find it interesting, please like it. If not, please comment number 1. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this video." "Do you remember me?" he asked, a smirk playing on his lips. "We had some good times together, didn't we?" Liam stepped forward protectively, positioning himself between Isabel and the man. "She's moved on. You have no right to bother her," he declared, his voice steady but laced with tension. The man's expression shifted, revealing a hint of anger. "You think you can just take her away? She's not who you think she is." "Enough." Isabel's voice rang out, cutting through the air like a knife. She stepped forward, facing the man. I'm not that person anymore. I've fought too hard to let you ruin this for me. Liam watched in awe as Isabel's strength emerged, illuminating the resilience she had cultivated during her hardships. The confrontation sparked something deep within her, awakening the warrior she had always been. As the man backed away, Liam took Isabel's hand, offering silent reassurance. "Let's go," he said, leading her away from the chaotic scene. They walked in silence, each step echoing the weight of the moment. Isabel's heart raced, not from fear, but from a fierce sense of reclaiming her identity. Back at the house, the tension hung heavy in the air. Liam held Isabel close, feeling her trembling frame against him. "You stood up for yourself," he said softly, his admiration evident. "I had to," Isabel replied, her voice barely above a whisper. "I can't let anyone take this away from me again." In that moment, the bond between them solidified. They realized that the path forward would not always be easy, but together, they could face whatever challenges lay ahead. With newfound determination, they set their sights on the future, ready to build a life filled with hope, resilience, and love. As the night descended, the world outside faded away, leaving them cocooned in the warmth of their shared dreams. Together, they would navigate the complexities of their intertwined lives, bound by a promise to support one another through every storm that life might throw their way. As the weeks progressed, the dynamics within their unconventional family continued to evolve, marked by both challenges and triumphs. Isabel's journey into architecture flourished, fueled by Liam's unwavering support and encouragement. The house that had once felt like a mere shelter transformed into a sanctuary of learning and growth. However, the quiet rhythms of their lives were about to be disrupted by an unexpected revelation. Margaret, eager to strengthen her connection with Isabel, invited them both for dinner once more. The evening promised to be filled with warmth and laughter, a chance to further mend the ties that had been so frayed. As they prepared for the gathering, Isabel felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. This was not just another dinner, it was an opportunity for her to forge a new identity, one rooted in the love and acceptance of her newfound family. As they arrived at Margaret's beautifully adorned home, Isabel couldn't help but marvel at the elegance surrounding her. The walls were adorned with stunning artwork, and the aroma of a delicious meal wafted through the air. Yet, beneath the surface, a tension simmered. Liam sensed it too, his protective instincts heightened. He knew the complexities of the situation and understood that tonight could change everything. The dinner began with delightful conversation, each course accompanied by laughter and shared stories. Margaret's warmth enveloped them, and Isabel found herself feeling more at ease than she had in a long time. As the evening progressed, Margaret stood to share a toast, her eyes shimmering with emotion. "To family, new beginnings, and the bonds that unite us," she declared, raising her glass. But just as Isabel began to relax, Margaret's demeanor shifted. The warmth faded as she prepared to share something significant. "Isabel," she began, her voice soft yet firm, "there's something important I need to tell you. It's about your past, and I believe you deserve to know the truth." Isabel's heart raced, an unsettling feeling settling in the pit of her stomach. She exchanged a glance with Liam, who offered a reassuring nod. Whatever was coming, they would face it together. Margaret took a deep breath, and the weight of her words hung heavily in the air. "I've kept this secret for far too long," Margaret continued, her voice trembling slightly. "When I was pregnant with you, I made choices that led to your father keeping you from me. I had no idea you were alive until recently." Shock washed over Isabel, her breath hitching in her throat. The gravity of Margaret's confession struck her like a thunderbolt, leaving her momentarily speechless. "What do you mean?" Isabel finally managed to ask, her voice barely a whisper. Margaret revealed a faded photograph, holding it delicately in her hands. "This was taken shortly after you were born. Your father took you away, and I was left with nothing but memories of the dreams we once had. I searched for you for years, but every lead brought me to a dead end." Tears filled Isabel's eyes as she processed this new reality. The longing she had felt for a mother she never knew suddenly took on a tangible form. Margaret's pain mirrored her own, intertwining their stories in ways that felt both tragic and beautiful. "I didn't know," Isabel murmured, her voice thick with emotion. "I had no idea you were looking for me." The room fell silent as the weight of Margaret's revelation settled over them. Isabel's heart raced with conflicting emotions, anger at her father for keeping the truth from her, sadness for the years lost, and a flicker of hope for a future they might now build together. Liam, sensing the turmoil within Isabel, reached for her hand, providing the anchor she desperately needed. His presence was a reminder that she was not alone in this moment of upheaval. Margaret's eyes glistened with tears as she continued. "Isabel, I want to make things right. I want to be part of your life moving forward, to support you in your dreams." Isabel's mind raced, the gravity of Margaret's offer crashing over her. Could she truly allow this woman into her life after everything? The years of uncertainty and longing for a mother surged forth, threatening to overwhelm her. Just then, Isabel's past loomed like a shadow, reminding her of the pain and betrayal she had experienced. "Isabel," Margaret implored, sensing the hesitation in her voice. "You don't have to decide everything right now. But I want you to know that I am here for you, no matter what." As Isabel looked into Margaret's eyes, she saw the sincerity of her intentions, the love that had been missing for so long. It was a chance to rewrite the narrative of her life, to reclaim the dreams that had been taken from her. But the fear of opening herself up again threatened to paralyze her. In that moment, Liam spoke up, his voice steady and reassuring. "Isabel, whatever you decide, I'll stand by you. You don't have to rush this. It's your choice." Taking a deep breath, Isabel faced the woman she had once only dreamed of knowing. "I want to get to know you," she said finally, her voice steady. "But I need time to process everything. I can't just erase the past." Margaret nodded, her expression filled with understanding. "Take all the time you need. I'm here, and I will wait for you." The conversation shifted back to lighter topics, but the weight of the revelation lingered in the air, thick with unspoken emotions. As the evening drew to a close, Isabel felt an unusual mix of hope and trepidation. The path ahead was uncertain, but the possibility of healing and connection lay before her. Once they returned home, Isabel sat quietly in the living room, the shadows dancing across the walls. Liam joined her, concern etched across his features. "How are you holding up?" he asked softly. "I don't know," Isabel admitted, feeling a whirlwind of emotions. "I'm excited, but I'm also scared. I've wanted this for so long, but now that it's here, I don't know how to navigate it." "Just take it one step at a time," Liam encouraged. "You've faced so much already. You have the strength to get through this." Their conversation faded into silence, each lost in their thoughts. Isabel reflected on her journey, one filled with hardship but also incredible resilience. The revelation of her connection to Margaret opened up a world of possibilities, and she felt a flicker of excitement beneath the layers of uncertainty. As the night deepened, Isabel felt a sense of resolve forming within her. She was ready to embrace the complexities of her past while carving out a future she could call her own. It wouldn't be easy, but with Liam by her side and Margaret's promise of support, she was prepared to face whatever came next. In that moment of vulnerability, Isabel realized that life had brought her to a crossroads, a chance to redefine her identity and her relationships. It was a pivotal moment, one that would shape the course of her life and those around her. The journey ahead would require courage, but she was ready to embrace it all. As she turned to Liam, their eyes met, and in that shared gaze, an unspoken understanding blossomed. Together, they would navigate this new chapter, fortified by love, trust, and the enduring power of family. The climax of their story was not just a revelation but a promise of hope, healing, and the opportunity for a brighter tomorrow. In the weeks following the emotional dinner at Margaret's home, Isabel embarked on a journey of self-discovery and healing. The revelation of her connection to Margaret hung in the air, a reminder of the past she was now ready to confront. Each day brought new challenges, but it also opened doors to a future she had long yearned for. Isabel began to spend more time with Margaret, who became a mentor in every sense of the word. They shared late-night conversations, during which Margaret recounted tales of her career in architecture and the obstacles she had overcome. Isabel listened intently, feeling inspired by Margaret's resilience. The bond between them deepened as they explored the intricacies of design and creativity together. Margaret's influence ignited a fire within Isabel, and she found herself envisioning a future filled with possibilities. Liam watched this transformation with admiration, proud of Isabel's growing confidence. He continued to support her ambitions, often staying up late to help her with projects and coursework. Their evenings together were filled with laughter and brainstorming, their connection solidifying further. Liam appreciated the joy Isabel found in her studies, and he reveled in the prospect of helping her realize her dreams. One afternoon, while working on a project for a local community center, Isabel had an epiphany. Inspired by her own experiences and the stories she had heard from Liam and Margaret, she realized the importance of creating spaces that offered safety and comfort to those in need. The idea took shape in her mind, fueling her passion even further. What if we designed a space specifically for homeless families? A sanctuary where they can find support and rebuild their lives, she proposed to Liam one evening. Liam's eyes lit up with excitement. That's an incredible idea. It aligns perfectly with what you've experienced and what you want to achieve. We should present this to Margaret. Eager to bring her vision to life, they scheduled a meeting with Margaret. The day arrived, and Isabel felt a mix of nerves and anticipation. As they gathered in Margaret's sunlit office, Isabel shared her proposal, her voice steady and filled with passion. She described the importance of creating a welcoming environment where families could find stability, resources, and hope. Margaret listened attentively, nodding in agreement. This is a fantastic concept, Isabel. You're channeling your experiences into something meaningful. I can help you with the design and planning process, she said, her enthusiasm evident. Encouraged by Margaret's support, Isabel dove into the project with renewed vigor. The three of them collaborated closely, combining their talents and insights to create a comprehensive plan. They spent hours sketching designs, discussing layouts, and researching materials that would foster a sense of safety and community. During this creative whirlwind, Isabel and Liam found moments to share their feelings. One evening, after a particularly productive brainstorming session, they took a walk in the nearby park. The air was crisp, and the world around them was illuminated by the soft glow of the setting sun. Isabel, Liam said, breaking the comfortable silence between them, I'm so proud of what you're doing. You're taking your pain and turning it into something beautiful. You're inspiring not just me, but so many others. Isabel glanced up at him, her heart swelling with emotion. I couldn't have done it without you, Liam. Your support means everything to me. Their hands brushed together, and the moment felt charged with unspoken affection. As they walked, the conversation shifted to their shared dreams. Isabel opened up about her hopes for the future, a future where she could blend her personal experiences with her professional aspirations. Liam listened intently, his heart warmed by her determination and vision. However, amid this blossoming partnership, the shadows of Isabel's past still loomed. One day, while returning home from a meeting, she spotted the man from the marketplace lurking near the house. Fear gripped her heart as she recognized him, and memories of her previous life rushed back with alarming clarity. She hesitated, the memories threatening to engulf her. As she approached the door, she felt a sense of dread settle over her. Liam, noticing her change in demeanor, stepped outside to meet her. Isabel, what's wrong? He asked, concern etched on his face. I saw him again, the man from the market, Isabel admitted, her voice trembling. He's been watching me. Liam's protective instincts kicked in. We won't let him intimidate you. Let's report this to the authorities and make sure you feel safe. With Liam by her side, they contacted the police, who assured them that they would keep a close watch on the situation. The officers encouraged Isabel to reach out if she ever felt threatened. Although shaken, Isabel felt a sense of relief at taking this proactive step. Liam's unwavering support reassured her that she wasn't alone in this fight. In the days that followed, Isabel continued to channel her energy into the community center project. As she immersed herself in her work, she discovered new strengths within herself. Each design element reflected her journey and the desire to create a safe haven for those who had faced similar struggles. Meanwhile, Edward thrived in his newfound role as a grandfather, taking joy in watching Isabel and Liam's relationship deepen. He often shared stories of his own youth, reminding Isabel of the importance of family and connection. The three of them formed a makeshift family, their bonds growing stronger with each passing day. One evening, as they gathered around the dining table for a family dinner, Edward raised his glass for a toast. "To new beginnings," he said, his voice filled with warmth. "To the strength of family, both found and chosen." As they clinked their glasses together, Isabel felt a profound sense of belonging. The fears that had once held her captive began to fade, replaced by a determination to embrace the life she had created. In that moment, she understood that while the past would always be a part of her, it no longer defined her future. With the project taking shape, they organized a community meeting to gather support for the center. Isabel's heart raced as she prepared to present their vision to the neighborhood. She was ready to share her story and inspire others to join in the effort to make a difference. On the day of the meeting, the room buzzed with anticipation as community members gathered to hear Isabel's proposal. She stood at the front, flanked by Liam and Margaret, feeling a blend of nerves and excitement. With each word she spoke, she poured her heart into the presentation, sharing her experiences and the transformative power of compassion. As she concluded her speech, the room erupted in applause. Isabel's heart soared. She had captured the audience's attention and ignited a spark of hope in their hearts. Several attendees expressed their desire to help, offering resources, volunteer hours, and connections to local businesses. In the days that followed, the momentum grew. Community members rallied together, organizing fundraising events and volunteering their time to support the center. Isabel felt overwhelmed by the outpouring of love and commitment, realizing that her vision was becoming a reality. Yet, amidst the celebration, she remained vigilant about her past. The presence of the man from the marketplace still lingered in the back of her mind. Although the police had been monitoring the situation, she knew she couldn't let fear overshadow the progress they were making. Isabel shared her concerns with Liam, who listened intently. "You're doing incredible things, but it's understandable to be cautious. We'll figure this out together," he reassured her, his hand resting on her shoulder. As they continued to work on the project, Isabel found strength in their partnership. They supported each other through every challenge, their relationship deepening as they shared the highs and lows of their journey. The community center began to take shape, a physical manifestation of their collective hopes and dreams. With every new development, Isabel felt more connected to her purpose. She was not just building a structure, she was crafting a sanctuary that would embody resilience, compassion, and the potential for a brighter future. As the sun set on a warm summer evening, Isabel stood outside the construction site, watching the workers bustling around. The laughter and chatter around her filled her heart with a sense of belonging. She had turned her pain into purpose, and for the first time in years, she felt truly at home. With Liam by her side and Margaret's mentorship guiding her, Isabel was ready to face whatever lay ahead. The path had been fraught with challenges, but with each step forward, she reclaimed her identity, her voice, and her life. As they looked ahead to the future, the possibilities seemed endless. Together, they would continue to build a life filled with love, hope, and the promise of new beginnings. As the community center neared completion, the excitement in the air was palpable. Isabel had poured her heart and soul into the project, and now, with the opening day approaching, she could hardly contain her anticipation. The once vacant lot was transforming into a vibrant space filled with color and life, symbolizing hope for those who had faced adversity. On the morning of the grand opening, Isabel arrived early, her heart racing with a mix of nerves and excitement. Colorful banners fluttered in the gentle breeze, and the sound of children's laughter echoed in the background as volunteers set up tables filled with resources for families. This was not just a building, it was a sanctuary, a beacon of support and community. Liam joined her, his presence grounding her amid the whirlwind of preparations. "You did it, Isabel," he said, admiration evident in his voice. "This place is going to change lives." As they stood together, Taking in the sight of the bustling volunteers and families arriving, Isabel felt a sense of fulfillment wash over her. "I couldn't have done this without you," she replied, her eyes shining with gratitude. "You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself." Margaret arrived shortly after, her smile warm and encouraging. "Are you ready?" she asked, placing a reassuring hand on Isabel's shoulder. "Today is a celebration of your hard work and determination." The three of them shared a moment of reflection, knowing how far they had come since that pivotal dinner. Isabel took a deep breath, allowing the weight of her journey to settle within her. She had faced her fears, embraced her past, and transformed her pain into purpose. As the ceremony began, a crowd gathered, filled with community members eager to witness the opening of the center. Isabel stood at the podium, her heart pounding as she looked out at the familiar faces. The support she had received was overwhelming, and she felt a surge of emotion as she prepared to share her story. "Thank you all for being here today," Isabel began, her voice steady. "This center is a dream realized, not just for me, but for everyone who has faced hardship. It represents resilience, compassion, and the belief that together, we can create a brighter future." The crowd erupted in applause, and Isabel felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. She continued, sharing her journey, her struggles, and the importance of community support. With each word, she connected with those in attendance, weaving her narrative into the fabric of their shared experiences. After her speech, families explored the center, engaging with the various resources available to them. Isabel watched as children played in the designated area, laughter ringing out like music, filling her heart with joy. This was the impact she had envisioned, an environment where families could thrive and find solace. As the day unfolded, Isabel noticed familiar faces mingling with new ones. People from different walks of life came together, united by a common purpose. The center was not only a place for support, it had become a hub for connection and collaboration. Amidst the festivities, Isabel spotted Edward chatting with a group of seniors. His face radiated happiness, and she felt a swell of pride. He had been her rock throughout this journey, providing wisdom and love that had guided her every step of the way. Later that afternoon, as the sun began to set, Isabel and Liam stood together outside the center, taking a moment to soak in the day's events. The golden light bathed the building in warmth, and the atmosphere was filled with hope. "You did something incredible today," Liam said, his gaze steady and sincere. "This place will change lives, just like you've changed mine." Isabel turned to him, her heart swelling with affection. "I couldn't have done it without you by my side. Your belief in me has made all the difference." In that moment, they shared an unspoken understanding. This was just the beginning. The journey they had embarked on together had deepened their connection, and the bond between them had grown into something beautiful. As they stood close, the warmth of their feelings enveloped them. Isabel took a deep breath, a sense of calm washing over her. "I'm ready to embrace the future," she whispered, a smile playing on her lips. Just then, Margaret joined them, her presence adding to the sense of unity. "I'm so proud of both of you," she said, her voice filled with emotion. "What you've created here is nothing short of extraordinary." Isabel felt a sense of belonging in this moment, surrounded by the people who had supported her through thick and thin. She had transformed her life and was now part of a family, one built on love, trust, and shared dreams. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the center, Isabel felt a profound sense of gratitude. She had faced her past and emerged stronger, more resilient, and more hopeful than ever before. In the days that followed, the community center became a vibrant hub, filled with life and activity. Families gathered for workshops, support groups, and social events, fostering connections that would carry them through tough times. Isabel watched with pride as the center flourished, knowing she had played a part in creating a safe haven for those in need. Isabel's life continued to unfold beautifully. She enrolled in architectural courses at a local college, eager to deepen her knowledge and skills. With Liam by her side, she balanced her studies and her responsibilities at the center, thriving in both roles. Their relationship blossomed, marked by mutual respect, understanding, and love. Edward, too, found joy in his new role as a grandfather. He enjoyed spending time with Ava, showering her with affection and wisdom. The family they had built together was a testament to the power of resilience and connection. As the seasons changed, Isabel often found herself reflecting on her journey, the struggles she had overcome and the dreams she had nurtured. Each challenge had shaped her, but it was the love and support of those around her that had propelled her forward. One evening, as she and Liam sat on the porch of the center, Isabel gazed out at the stars twinkling above. "I never imagined I could find happiness again," she admitted, her voice soft. "But here I am, surrounded by love and purpose." Liam took her hand, intertwining their fingers. "You've created this life, Isabel. Your strength and determination are inspiring. I'm so grateful to be a part of it." In that moment, Isabel realized that the journey was far from over. They had built a foundation of hope and love, and together, they would continue to forge ahead, creating a future filled with promise. As the moon illuminated the night sky, Isabel felt an overwhelming sense of peace wash over her. She had faced her fears, embraced her identity, and found a family she could rely on. With Liam, Margaret, and Edward by her side, she was ready to take on the world, one dream at a time. And as the doors of the community center opened wide, so too did the doors of opportunity and connection for everyone who stepped inside. Together, they would weave a tapestry of resilience, love, and hope, forever changing lives for the better. Thank you for listening. See you in the next episode. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Goodbye.